And greetings, everyone, and welcome to Buzz for Good, where we talk all things nonprofit, the people they serve, and the good they do. My name is Michael Hemphill. I'm the creator and host of the TV show Buzz that airs every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Blue Ridge PBS, where we feature the great work of nonprofit organizations and the marketing professionals affiliated with the American Advertising Federation of Roanoke, who donate their time and talent helping these life-giving organizations achieve more buzz. And today I am buzzing about Black History Month. A couple of weeks ago, we premiered our newest episode of Buzz, starring the Harrison Museum of African American Culture, as it moves into its new home at Melrose Plaza in Roanoke, Virginia. Today, I will share the audio of that episode with you and hope you will go to our YouTube channel at Buzz for Good. That's Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, 4 Good, to watch it in its entirety. Or better yet, go visit the museum for yourself. Speaking of Black History Month, our next new Buzz stars the Franklin County NAACP, which recently unveiled a new statue in Rocky Mount, Virginia, honoring the 70 Black men from the county who fought for the Union in the Civil War in what was known as the United States Colored Troops. There are fewer than 25 such monuments that exist throughout the country to the United States Colored Troops, or USCT, and now our very own Rocky Mount, Virginia, claims to be one of those sites, with the first such statue in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We were there for the unveiling, a spectacular day that actually included this video tribute from none other than NBA great Steph Curry, who has family from Franklin County. Listen now.
Hey, this is Steph Curry here. I just want to say a heartfelt congratulations to the Franklin County Citizens NAACP and the VT monuments across Appalachia, Virginia, and the initiative and the dedication for the 2-year project, Raising the Shade. I know the USCT troops who fought during the Civil War need to be remembered and celebrated. So this is a big time honor, and just want to say congratulations for all that you've done and what this legacy will mean for now and in the future. Peace.
So that was Steph Curry. There's a whole lot more that happened on that day that we are looking forward to including in our episode featuring the great work of the Franklin County NAACP. Tune into our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and even TikTok, all at Buzz for Good, to find out more about that episode, or visit our website, buzzforgood.com. And for now, here is our newest Buzz, featuring Roanoke, Virginia's very own Harrison Museum of African American Culture. They're not the rich and famous. Their profit comes not from the thing they sell, but the good they do. Our nation has more than 1.5 million nonprofits that employ 1 out of 10 Americans, providing services that otherwise go unfulfilled, keeping our community connected when all else fails. But nonprofits often lack the tools to properly promote themselves, to inspire more donors and volunteers and clients to their cause. That's where I come in. I've been in the nonprofit world for nearly 20 years. I connect nonprofits with marketing professionals who donate their time and expertise so that, at the end of the day, these life-giving organizations can do more, do better, by creating more, that's right, buzz. In August of 2025, Roanoke, Virginia cut the ribbon to a new landmark, Melrose Plaza, a partnership between the city and the nonprofit Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. Built to highlight and help the historically Black community of Northwest Roanoke, Melrose Plaza opened with a full-service grocery store, banking center, adult high school, wellness center, and of course, Henrietta's Cafe, named in honor of Roanoke native Henrietta Lacks, whose cancer cells were taken from her without her knowledge or consent to become the source of the immortal HeLa cells that have been used for countless medical research advances. But one big space of Melrose Plaza was left empty until now. And it's this space, the new home of the Harrison Museum of African American Culture, that we are celebrating on today's episode of Buzz.
Well, I'm E.B. Smith. I'm the Executive Director of the Harrison Museum of African American Culture. I started life as an actor. I was an actor, professional actor for 30 years, working in regional theater, and then spent sort of the last half of my career at the Stratford Festival of Canada. The Stratford Festival, for those that don't know, is a gigantic theater festival. It's the largest repertory theater in North America. And so my experiences in arts organizations span the gamut from, tiny little storefront spaces to enormous juggernauts of arts and culture. So in the summer of 2024, I had gotten to know the folks on the Harrison board pretty well from some work I had done down at Mill Mountain in Roanoke. And they asked me if I would help them come up with a strategic plan. There was a move in the offing from Center in the Square to Melrose Plaza. There were a number of organizational challenges that the organization hadn't faced before. And I thought, this is really meaningful work. And of course, I'd love to be a part of it. So we worked for about 5 months, put together a plan. And when I delivered it, they asked me if I would step in as executive director and lead the change process to implement what we put together. So a year later, here I am.
For more than a decade, Harrison Museum was located in downtown Roanoke's Center in the Square, home to many other regional arts and cultural organizations. When the move into Melrose Plaza was announced in summer 2025, it was hailed as a homecoming, a return to the museum's roots in Northwest Roanoke, where its journey began in 1985. E.B.'s vision for Harrison involves more than just a change of location.
It's a very different space than was at Center in the Square. We used to be very static. We had a set gallery and sort of had a permanent collection on display, and there was a lot in storage that never saw the floor. And so when we were thinking about how the museum wanted to evolve, we started thinking about how we leverage all of that wealth of our collection that had never seen exhibition and get it out in front of people. And so we've implemented a rotational model now. So every 6 months, we'll be bringing a new exhibition to the floor. We're doing whatever we can to generate these things here in-house and in Roanoke, because it's really important to us that the richness of Roanoke's history and culture tells its own story, right? We are still going to be, of course, bringing some things in from partner organizations elsewhere. But we have so much in our own collection that we can leverage and that we can show off, that it's important to us to do so.
The new space offers 7,000 square feet of exhibit space, a 2,000 square foot theater, and 1,500 square feet for a gift shop. But to transform it into a museum, all on a tight budget, E.B. Smith has had to turn to the construction skills he honed from his theater background, along with some committed volunteers.
Hi, I'm Princess Ibe. I'm the technical director at Hollins University. And Ibe is currently directing our spring production of She Kills Monsters. And I got to know that he's also the executive director at the museum. And he says he talks a lot about it and what they do here. And as an African, I was excited, not African American though, but just African. I was really excited to come around and see what's happening. And so I decided to come help out during my free mornings because it also counts as community service. So what better way to serve than to set up a museum, right?
Saw it pop up on Facebook. I'm fairly new to Roanoke and never got a chance to visit the Harrison Museum before they closed, so excited to have it reopened and be part of making it happen.
I'm excited to have it reopen, and I'm really glad that I can be part of it, and I want to get to know people and keep helping.
My name's Dan Perkins. Here helping EB. He gave me a call, said he needed a hand here with the museum. My background, I spent the first 6 years of my adult life as a Army combat medic, and these days work asset protection and loss prevention. I mean, it's a great museum. I remember going there many years ago with a school field trip. So yeah, school field trip. How long have you guys been open?
40 years.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, my grad school program was in scene design, and one of the projects I remember doing was a museum design. And so having an opportunity to be at one that's being set up was something I never expected. So I'm really excited to be here, to be helping out, and yeah, just being able to serve the community.
It's our history. It's our history too. I mean, it's the history of the country. And I think it's important to learn more about that part of our history.
Yeah, when I started reading about some of the things that actually happened in Black history and realized I didn't get any of that when I was in school. Nobody taught me anything. So I've been researching on my own. And it's important for everybody, no matter what color you are, to stand up and say, we need to save our history. And there's a lot of history that's been covered up here in Roanoke that I think people are just unaware of, and they need to learn.
What she said. Yeah.
In November, the Harrison Museum held a soft opening with its first exhibit titled Healing Hands, The Legacy of Black Medicine. It shares the ingenuity and resilience of Roanoke's African American community through such people and places as Burrell Memorial Hospital, the only Black medical facility in Roanoke from 1915 to 1965, and the Hunton Life-Saving Crew, one of the first Black rescue squads in the United States.
Hi, I'm Brittany Flowers. I am a public historian and genealogist. I'm thrilled to be working with the Harrison Museum on our newest exhibit about medical history called Healing Hands.
But this would have had a little mask on it. Anybody who's looking?
Yeah. Oh, and you actually pump.
So there is definitely more to come. There's a lot of incredible things out here right now. Some of the exhibits that we have are just, it's unbelievable what has been saved for so long, that there was a collection of this magnitude, but there are more images coming, there's more text coming, there are more connections to be made, and not just exhibits of the artifacts, but we'll be doing more interactive things and programming, and there's so much more to come. This is literally a teaser, a preview of what's to come.
And people are coming through and looking at the walls and going, oh my God, that's my doctor. Oh, you know, I was born at Burrell Memorial Hospital. I know those folks in the Hunton Life-Saving Crew Ladies Auxiliary. You know, there's photographs, there's artifacts, there's memorabilia that connect with people, not just through memory, but through stories that their family has told. And it's resonating with folks in a really cool way. And I think part of the benefit of digging into our collection is that we're resurrecting some of those things for people. And some of the sort of anecdotal stuff that we're collecting from people is wonderful too. People coming in and saying and talking about their memories of being delivered by a midwife instead of in a hospital, right? And we had one visitor come in and talk about how they had to, when their brother was born, run and fetch the midwife literally down the street, and you know, because mom was going to have that baby any minute, and so they had to like go down the street, get the midwife, bring her back, and then you know have the baby. And then in the morning, talking about how you know the midwife's work was not just around the delivery of the baby, but she made breakfast and she got the kids dressed, and you know there was a whole piece of aftercare that she was doing in the home that I don't think people are aware was part of that process, right? You know, these things are not new to us, and understanding how we used to do them can inform how we want to build those things into our lives and our sort of resiliency in the future, potentially. So,
among those who attended Harrison's soft opening was Roanoke Mayor Joe Cobb.
History at its best isn't distant. It's not past, it's fully present. It's activating something new within us, inspiring us to think differently about where we are in the world. That's so much of the beauty of not only this museum, but inviting us to live more fully present in the time that we're in.
I'll be a little bit contrarian and say, you know, it's critical that people remember this is the Harrison Museum of African American Culture.
That's right.
It's not a history museum. We use history as our starting point, as a sort of launching pad, but understanding that the culture that's represented in that history thrives today. You know, I mean, I think about the people on these walls, and there are a lot of them. They were expressing things through their work, through their connection to their community, that we do the same today. It doesn't look the same way, right? Our needs are different. But it's that spirit of innovation of saying, what does my community need and how am I going to fill that vacuum that can really propel us forward? Mm-hmm. And our programming points to that. You know, we're going to be doing performer trainings, we'll be doing storytelling workshops. We have a genealogy lab where anybody, it doesn't matter if what your background is, you can come and learn where you come from. It's exciting to understand that context so that you can carry it forward in a way that's meaningful.
I think it's beautifully fitting that this initial exhibit is called Healing Hands, because all of us can relate to stories and moments of healing in our lives, but the way this exhibit connects our history, particularly African American history, in relation to health literacy, health education, creation of the Burrell Memorial Hospital, the intersection between Dr. Burrell and Lucy Addison, and some of the early training for nurse practitioners, how they were able to do this during a highly segregated part of our history, mm-hmm. and how that story continues to emerge and make our city as a whole more holistic, mm-hmm. in how we approach medicine, how we approach health, but also how healing it is, mm-hmm. to realize that all this time we were all working together in our own special ways to bring about healing and wholeness for our city.
You know, one of the things that I find so incredible about what you're talking about is that segregation, we like to think of segregation in black and white terms, and it's not. It's very nuanced. I mean, the fact is Burrell Memorial Hospital wouldn't have existed if it weren't for a segregated medical system. Henrietta Lacks' story wouldn't be the same if it weren't for a segregated medical system. But those HeLa cells went on to save countless lives, right? And to progress medical research in ways that we never could have dreamed before they were stolen from her without her consent, right? So, you know, that's not to say that any of this was good or bad or anything else, but understanding that we owe each other everything. One of the first principle of Kwanzaa, around which the exhibit is framed, is unity, right? And we are together in this journey, whether we like it or not, whether we wish we were or we weren't. We have to do this together. We've got to figure out how we're going to advance to the next stage and the next step of our progression. That's why the final step of this exhibit is really about the future. What do you imagine for yourself? What is this spark within you that makes you know you can accomplish more tomorrow than you thought you could yesterday? And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this.
While at the soft opening, I met another filmmaker, Sage Love. Sage belongs to the House of J Boxing Club, which had helped E.B. Smith with some of the museum preparation. As an award-winning videographer, Sage was back today filming a new piece to provide Harrison with more buzz.
That you guys are seeing now, and I'm just happy to be a part of this exploration of just culture here at Roanoke. Just here to be a part of history. I'm hoping the video that I produce for the Harrison Museum get more publicity, get more exposure, hopefully get more people involved in the community to actually want to learn about the heroes and sheroes that actually was in your neighborhood, that actually lived here, produced some of this great advancement for doctors, advancement, and just kind of see yourself in these people here, you know, because that's important. Yeah, and I'm hoping that the video establish all of that and more.
You know, it's critical that people remember this is the Harrison Museum of African American Culture. That's right. It's not a history museum. We use history as our starting point, as a sort of launching pad, but understanding that the culture that's represented in that history thrives today. I mean, I think about along these walls, there are a lot of them. They were expressing things through their work, through their connection to their community, that we do the same today. It doesn't look the same. Our needs are different. But it's that spirit of innovation of saying, what does my community need and how am I going to fill that vacuum that can really propel us forward.
And that cultural influence is absolutely critical. We can't be better people, we can't be a better city unless we understand and learn from the culture.
Hi, my name is Joseph Rogers. I'm the Director of Community Partnerships at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture.
My name is Audrey Wood. I am the Virginia History Affiliates Coordinator at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture.
So the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, or the VMHC, is the state history museum. Now, it is private nonprofit. However, it does work very diligently to tell the history of the entire state, working with community partners, working with other peer institutions to bring that entire Commonwealth story to our building in Richmond, but also to help share those stories around the Commonwealth. So we partner regularly with different sites to do traveling exhibitions, to do different kind of work to make sure that we're telling that history accurately and authentically.
I've spent the last couple of months creating these new connections and partnerships with different smaller organizations all across the state. And I'm very excited about visiting the Harrison Museum today, getting to learn a little bit more about what they're doing. And like Joseph said, making those connections across Virginia to kind of tell a more complete story, the best story that we can of the state.
In particular, I'm very I'm keeping this in mind with the Harrison Museum because this is where my mother met my father. My mother was volunteering at the Harrison Museum in the late 80s when a man walked in, and there he was, right? And they started their relationship that ultimately ended up with me. I was born right here in Roanoke. My mother actually was born in the hospital that's prominently displayed on the wall right here, right? And she was delivered by the man who's also prominently displayed on the wall right here. And so this is a really interesting and almost surreal version of a homecoming for me personally.
I mean, I look at Burwell Memorial Hospital in relationship to Lucy Addison High School. I was just telling a bunch of sixth graders about this who have no idea what I'm talking about. But you know, they were affiliated with Lucy Addison High School when it was a high school, a black high school, before integration. And they were graduating high schoolers with an LPN. Yeah. We, as a society, can't accomplish that in 2025. Can you imagine high schoolers graduating with a licensed practical nursing degree? Not just that, but those students had a 99% licensing pass rate. So we're not talking about just getting a degree. We're talking about superstars coming out of a program on a regular basis. This is a tradition of excellence. Not to say that we need to recapture that. I'm not advocating for that to be the high school curriculum again. But knowing that we can and understanding what imagination could look like in the future, what does that mean now? Right? What kind of skills do we need to start building now at a young age to be able to leverage for the future?
Everyone say, Lucy Addison rocks. Good. Oh yeah, you guys are very...
Harrison is already planning its next exhibit, After Healing Hands. Later in 2026, it will look at the thriving black business district that once existed in Roanoke's Gainsborough neighborhood along Henry Street. Until, that is, urban renewal destroyed it all.
When we talk about black economies, it's fine to talk about urban renewal. It's fine to talk about who owned what business on Henry Street and how great it was, but But I think at the core of it is something a bit more elemental, which is really how do we put the building blocks together based on the tools and capacities and passions that we have to build the next economic story, right? How do we leverage who we are and what we need to build robust systems, right? And I think that's what Henry Street was really about when it was sort of in its heyday. And it's important to celebrate the successes. It's important to remember the challenges. But I think at the heart of it is really that kernel of what are you going to do next? And how do you draw inspiration from understanding these stories? Yeah, I mean, as we move forward through each exhibit, that's how we're looking at this, right? It's multifaceted to say, what are the lessons we can take away from this? And we're not here to litigate anything. We're here to just inspire people to look for the future and understand that they're capable of more than they thought they were.
But for now, Harrison is preparing for its grand reopening in February during Black History Month. And that's where I caught up with volunteer extraordinaire, former Roanoke City Council member and Vice Mayor Anita Price, whose husband, Charles, served as Harrison's longtime board chair.
This is such a remarkable event, having our new location here at Melrose Plaza for the Harrison Museum of African American Culture to reopen. And for so many folks who know the history, I hope they recognize this is the third and maybe probably one of the best locations for housing the museum. We're excited to be here. We're excited to be able to kind of come home to the Northwest community and bring back not only history and culture, but a sense of community. So we are so ecstatic to be here at Melrose Plaza, our new home for the Harrison Museum of African American Culture.
Later in February, as part of Black History Month, we buzz over to Rocky Mount, Virginia, to conclude our series featuring the Franklin County NAACP and its initiative, Raising the Shade, which honors the county's 70 brave African Americans who fought for the Union and freedom during the Civil War as part of the United States Colored Troops.
407 years ago, beginning in 1619, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new people, not conceived in liberty and not dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. They were born out of the hulls of slave ships with shackles around their ankles and wrists, stripped not only of their clothing and sold on the auction blocks in public squares, but also stripped of their culture, their language, their education, and their dignity. They were denied rights, denied promises, and denied any assurance that they or their descendants would ever be recognized as Americans. Yet today, here in Rocky Mount, Virginia, we stand before you to present a truer, more inclusive, and more accurate history. We honor 70 enslaved men from Franklin County who, against unimaginable odds, escaped slavery and joined the Union forces. They fought not only for themselves, but for the freedom and rights of generations they would never live to see. So today,
that'll do it for today's Buzz for Good. Please stay connected with us throughout the week on our website, buzzforgood.com, as well as our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, all at Buzz for Good. Until next time, I hope you continue being a Buzz for Good in the communities you hold dear by supporting the nonprofits that work hard each and every day to make your communities an even better place to live. Bye now.